C1music.fm, The Familiar. It is your host for the evening, Aaron Robinson. You know how we do all day, every day. And like I said, we are in the building. Today is June 12th, Monday, June 12th. Mm-hmm. And before I want to get out my shout-outs out, before I get started, I want to give a shout-out because I know Father's Day is coming up. I want to give a shout-out to all the fathers out there. And to my father, happy Father's Day, whenever they get a chance to hear this or if they hear it. Being that we are streaming live, so to all the people who are listening to this, if you are a father and you're pulling up on Father's Day, we said it first, happy Father's Day. All right. Again, today's topic is titled the Tangled. That episode title was sponsored to you by Mrs. Holloway, Madison Holloway.
It's just Tangled.
And Sister Edna, thank you for joining. And we are doing it live. So, as I said, if you want to join us on a call, the way to join us is at 908-316-8630 for the live call. Again, we are broadcasting live on the Spreaker Network. You also can join us at meetings.dialpad.com/C1 Productions. How's my panel doing tonight?
Hello?
How's my panel doing tonight?
I lost him. I know. Yeah, we lost him.
We can't hear you.
Y'all can't hear me?
No.
Now we can.
Now we can. So, yeah.
All right,
Two
that's
whole
weird.
lines. You spoke.
I don't know what happened, but yeah, we still live.
When Madison put hers on mute. If Madison puts her mic on mute, it mutes everything.
Yeah, do not mute me, Madison.
My apologies. I didn't want you guys to hear me drinking water.
Yeah, do not mute. I'll mute you here. All right, skip that part. We are definitely going to do this. So how's everybody doing on the panel?
Great.
Good. Again, the topic title is Tangled. We're going to get started. Are y'all ready?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right, here we go. At the annual Style and Switch Hair Convention competition, the competition ran high. The two leading salons, the Hip Edgy Hair Squad and the Classic Elegant Lisa's Beauty and Hair, were at the forefront of the battlefield. These salons had a history of fierce rivalry, with their distinct styles drawing equally passionate crowds. In the Hair Squad, Jackie, a creative and skilled stylist with a heart yearning for peace, had always loved her job. However, she found herself increasingly uneasy in the aggressive competitiveness of her team, especially their disdain for Lisa's beauty and hair. Despite their reputation for edgy styles and innovation, Jackie felt a longing for the harmony and classic elegance of Lisa's team. At the end of the convention, a fight broke out between the Hair Squad and another small salon over a misplaced hairstyling tool. It was an ugly scene, with the convention floor becoming a battlefield. Unwilling to be a part of this, Jackie, seeing the chaos unfold, rushed to inform the security. Her heart pounding, she pointed out her colleagues amidst the melee. Her betrayal, as some would see it, led to her team's arrest. Amidst the turmoil, she noticed Jasmine's, the owner of Hair Squad, distinct jewelry lying on the floor, apparently falling during the scuffle. Seeing this as an opportunity, she decided to make a bold move. She picked up the jewelry, left the pandemonium behind, and made her way towards Lisa's Beauties and Hair's booth. The elegance and calm that Lisa's booth radiated felt like a breath of fresh air in the midst of the chaotic day she had had. With a deep breath, she approached Lisa, the renowned owner of her kindness and strong leadership. Holding out the jewelry, Jackie said, "I want to work in an environment that values beauty, not battles. I hope this can serve as a peace offering and perhaps a token of my desire to join your team." Lisa, surprised yet impressed by Jackie's boldness and honesty, consideration for her proposition, intrigued, Lisa asked, "So what happened? Please tell me." Jackie began her story, describing the utter chaos outside the convention center. In the convention center, the screams of the crowd and the roars of their employees getting beat up. She reported that the owner of the hair squad, Jasmine, and her right hand, Jalen, were arrested. She goes on to say that the cops asked her to point out who Jasmine was, and she honored their request, and the cops arrested the hair squad for fighting. Swallowing her grief, Jackie complied and brought Jasmine's distinctive bracelet and chain to Lisa as proof of the fight and arrest. Jasmine's jewelry cost over $100,000, and Jackie said, Jackie said, "I brought it to you as a peace offering and to get a job with you instead." Lisa stared at Jackie for a moment, a mix of surprise, sorrow, and perhaps anger clouding her face. "How are you not afraid to get arrested too? That costs a lot. That costs lots of money." Lisa questioned her, her voice echoing through the quiet room. Jackie did not have an answer. She was merely an employee who had obeyed her boss before she got arrested. Lisa turned to her right hand, Michelle, and said, "Do what needs to be done." She condemned herself by admitting she told the cops where to find Jasmine and then brought her belongings to us. Michelle took the jewelry from Jackie and then kicked her out of the hair salon.
Oh.
So, my question to everyone first is, if you were Lisa, what would you do?
Okay, if I'm Lisa, the owner of the salon that the disgruntled employee wanted to be a part of, right?
Yes, that is correct.
She's right to not offer that woman a job because she just stole jewelry from the previous owner. It doesn't matter if she was wild and rough and got arrested for fighting. She's a thief. She took the woman's jewelry and tried to give it to someone else as a peace offering. You can't give a peace offering of something that doesn't belong to you and it's worth over $100,000. Let's make a felony.
They
Yep.
were rivals though.
Definitely don't want her on your team, but kicking her out, that was a good idea. And it was probably a good idea to keep it because you now have opportunity to reach out to your rival and say, "Hey, you need to get control of your people, and here's your stuff."
So you would give it back to her?
Oh, I would definitely give it back to the owner, and maybe that'll be a way to kind of bridge the gap. Maybe have some peace or a stalemate for a while to tone down some of the animosity and the competition. Because she's being honest and she's keeping it real with her.
Okay. Anyone else? Talk to me. Madison, talk to me.
On if what she should do with that bracelet, or what was the question?
Yeah, Lisa. What, if you were Lisa, what would you do with the bracelet?
As a hiring manager, and most establishments, you're not allowed to even take like tips or like incentives. You just gave me $100,000 of chain bracelet Cuban linkages. I don't after a brawl, and you now would like to work here. Did I if you're not hired, I'm not sure if it's gonna work out because I know you were walking away from some troubles, but you got some, you're tainted. I don't need you tainting over here. I think it should be given back, especially we like know where it's coming from. No, you can't do that. You can't take it.
All right, so you're saying, and Carmen's saying that y'all would give the jury back, or not? You would not take the jury, and Carmen's saying that she would take the jury, or have her employee take the jury and kick her out and give the jury back to the rightful owner.
It's a lot of money. You don't know how she got it, too. Now, if I did not know of the background, yes, you still shouldn't take it. Would I? Now that's different. Now that's a little debatable. It sounds
Yeah, you sick.
pawnable. It sounds pawnable. I don't know. It's hard out here. We're trying. I didn't steal it. It's gifted. I didn't know it was stolen.
Oh man. Yo, you shout out.
I'm just sharing.
All right. So anyone else? Jennifer, talk to me. What you think?
Well, I agreed with Madison and Carletta until Madison said that the last part.
I'm sorry.
I was with her until the end. But yeah, I would return it.
They both said two different things though. Madison said that she wouldn't take it at all. Carletta said that she would take it and return it to its rightful owner.
Okay, so I wouldn't hire her. I would return it to the rightful owner.
So you would take it?
Yeah. Yeah, to give it back to the lady.
Gotcha. But I'm saying, so you would be in possession of it. You would take possession of it to give it back to its rightful owner.
Correct.
You can't leave it with the thief. She's gonna.
Right.
But you the one who said that you would give it. You wouldn't take it at all. Are you switching your answer?
Nah, you got me there. I did say that, but along the lines of, oh, you should give it back. They're not gonna give it back. If you bring up like, oh, this should go back to somebody, and you tell them that, they're gonna be like, my last thought, pawn it. They're not gonna give it back if you ever bring.
So
up
you saying Jackie wouldn't give it back? The person that brought it, that took it in the first place and brought it.
Hey, if she took it in the first place and brought it in the first place, she might not return it. If you be like, this should be returned, right? There's maybe cameras. She might not. She going to another state.
All right. So that is your take. Now I want to ask. Let me ask Elder Martin. I want to ask you this question. Let's say if you were Jackie and this fighting took place, would you have told on your boss and your colleagues that it was them who were fighting? Elder Martin, you there?
Sorry, I was on mute.
All right.
I think I would.
You think you would? So you would tell on your boss? Would you?
If they was in the wrong. If they was in the wrong.
I mean, there was a scuffle that took place, and you at this point it looked like you were not feeling your workplace in the first place. So you already had issues with them. You was already thinking about leaving. So the reason why Jackie picked up the bracelet and thought to give it to the young lady, Lisa, was because she was already thinking about quitting, and she knew that it would be awkward for her to leave and go to the other side. Two competitors that compete every year for the convention. So, but either way, you said you would definitely tell.
Yes.
Okay.
Tell who? Who are we telling?
The police. The police. The police is investigating.
How she got the nerve to tell the police after she done stole somebody's necklace?
Got you. Wow. Yes.
All right, but I'm saying maybe she told the police before she stole it.
That don't make it better. You done broke a crime. She was like, "Well, they're not. I thought they were about to question me, but it's about you. Someone got to go."
Well, she never participated in the scuffle.
Yeah, but she stole. So she was a participant at a different level.
Okay, I mean, y'all can look at it like that. I'm not disagreeing with you, Sister June. Would you have told?
I don't know. I don't know if I would have told. I'm not sure if I would have told. I would have. I mean, yeah. I
And
don't know if I
told
would have told the
who?
police.
Though? Oh, the
The
police.
police.
Okay.
So again,
It was
a fight broke out at the convention center. Jackie, who was a part of it was like their employees versus another squad employees, another hair salon, and some tools was stolen or missing, and it caused a scuffle, and so Jackie was part of the hair squad, and they got into it. But Jackie, when the fight broke out, Jackie went and got the police. And so when the police security came or whatever, she told that her people was part of the scuffle, was fighting. And so her boss and the second in command and some of the employees got arrested. So the question
Do
is,
they know who initially stole whatever they started the fight about?
Jackie.
Jackie didn't. Jackie didn't. Jackie. So listen, Jackie only picked up what was like her, I guess, old girl, Jasmine, the owner of Hair Squad. Jewelry maybe came off during the scuffle. So Jackie.
Yeah, but if she stole that, so she might have had something to do with that. I mean, you don't know what the whole scuffle started about, but was no need for her to steal the lady's stuff. I mean,
All right, I got you.
Yeah.
But the question still at hand though. First off, before anybody say it, June, would you have went and got the police? The scuffle broke out. Would you have jumped in and fought, or would you have just ran and got the police? And then when you came and get the police after the scuffle, they would have said, "Who started the fight? How this is all started?" Because now you obviously got to talk to police, and you're going to point out
I don't know if I would have to get the police.
You wouldn't get the police?
I don't think so.
Hold on, sound like now, Sister Edna, is that you in the background saying you wouldn't have got the police neither?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Because yeah.
Wow, that's deep.
Well, first of all, why couldn't they try and break up the fight and find out what was going on? Why did this happen?
Well, it happened
Before
because
they
somebody's tools got stolen.
Right. Okay. So
much
but
theft in the air.
every time something happens, you can't just run to the police because sometimes the police take it the wrong way and people lose their lives.
So
Yeah, but if you try to break up the fight, you could lose your life too.
that is correct.
That's true. That's true.
I tell
but
you what, though, I would be calling the police before I be trying to break up the fight, before I get in it.
Right.
I don't think I would be doing either.
So
I
what, you
would
gonna
be
just
doing-
leave? Just leave?
With the necklace.
Yeah.
I'm not leaving with no stolen goods.
Not with the necklace, though.
I would look to see if there's someone in the vicinity that could help break up the fight, but I wouldn't try to break it up.
So you would get the
I don't
police
gotta
then?
break up
And
the
then I
fight.
wouldn't run and try and get the police either. I think I would look for someone else that could help.
So what you
I
gonna
would look
you
for
gonna
help.
you gonna start screaming and just saying it's happening, it's happening, they're fighting now, help!
I may scream, help, somebody help me. You know what I'm saying? And that gets a lot of attention.
And then somebody's calling the police anyway. Especially if you at a convention, somebody's calling the police.
Well, then I wouldn't have to call. Somebody else is already calling.
Okay,
Right,
but
well,
when the cops
somebody
come and they
would-
see you got
would
the
come.
hair squad T-shirt on,
With the jury.
yeah, they pull you to the side and say, "Hey, what happened? Who was involved in the fight?"
I wouldn't know.
I don't like it. It looks like everybody's involved in the fight. I mean, I wouldn't know.
Because if they
They're
ask,
involved in the stealing.
Everybody going down.
Everybody's stealing. Like she ain't involved in the fight, but she's stealing too. So everybody, yeah.
involved in some way. And it would have been worse if the cops were like, what team started this? And like you're wearing the team shirt and like you have to like cover it or something. Jasmine, the owner, that team. They did this. They did it.
All right, so let's start off with this. Everybody, y'all saying that the bracelet should be returned, though, right? To the owner?
Yeah.
Or should you say you shouldn't have took it in the first place?
Didn't
Yeah,
have
I, would,
taken
yeah,
it
I
in the
wouldn't have
first
took
place.
it. I wouldn't even have taken it.
Nope,
No.
not at all.
Okay.
That's trouble.
So you picked it. I mean, she could have said she picked it up with the intention to give it to Jasmine after she got out of jail.
Mm.
Why don't she bring it to me then?
But that's
Hey,
gonna be my next question. My question
Okay,
is,
good.
do you feel like the bracelet is a peace offering?
No.
Like Val.
No.
That's a call to war.
Yeah.
Preach. Talk to me, Jen. Why is it a call to war?
Come on, we just got into a fight. I mean, we were just in a fight with them.
No. So
Over
Lisa Beauty and Hair wasn't in the fight. They wasn't even part of the fight. They just
well,
competed with them.
I'm gonna tell you. Okay, well then,
Well,
But
if
when they
there's
see
two,
that,
Right.
bracelet,
Yeah.
here we go.
There's
I'm in
going
it.
to be a call to war when
Yes.
when
when she see that
when
bracelet,
the owner finds out that she took her bracelet. It might not be a war with the other team, but it's going to be a war.
It might be the
between
war with the other
owner.
team too. They
Because
probably
they won't
probably
have to
think
say
I got
war.
their curling irons
yeah.
and their blow dryers, so they coming at both of them after me now.
It's down bad to the third degree. I don't see how this could go well because for one, she talked to the police. For two, she was already leaving and like going to someone else that was like competing next to them. And then last, you're gonna bring probably it's 4. This is a combo because you're gonna bring what you stole from your boss in hopes to give to your new boss. You might not have a job. You just called the cops. When is she getting out? She knows your address. Like, we don't know what could happen with that. And then you stole from her. Let her find that out. Oh, she going back to jail. I hope not.
Okay, so let's flip this now. Let's say you are the owner, Jasmine of the Hit Squad. You got into a fight protecting your employees and your brand at the convention. Your jury, through the scuffle, your jury and everything came off. All right, you know how women grab stuff and somebody grabs you by your neck, your chain came off, your bracelet came off from getting tangled up in somebody's hair or something of that sort. And you lost your bracelet and your hair, which I'm sorry, not your hair, your bracelet. Your bracelet.
Yeah,
That's possible.
That's possible.
Oh.
It's possible. Your bracelet and your chain is gone, and now you're in handcuffs. All right. So in your head, it's already gone. It's a loss because you lost it. It's gone. All right. You also find out that Jackie, who is one of your employees, is the one that pointed you out in the scuffle to the police. Do you instantly fire her?
You can't do that legally.
Oh, in my state we can.
Wait, what's illegal?
At fire state, you probably can, but you probably want to give a different reason. Ask.
What would be
you
illegal
can't.
about that, though? If
Across the
someone got
room, she'll know.
arrested because of them, what would that be legally?
I mean, you could say irreconcilable differences. Y'all just not getting along. It's not working
You sent
out.
me to jail,
You know,
Right.
so
Exactly.
I should be able to fire you.
He stole from me.
And you stole from me.
See, technically, I mean,
Do we
she
know
doesn't
that
know
we
that.
yeah,
stole
you don't
by
know
now?
at this point that she stole from you. She could say, "Yo, if it was on the ground, I didn't know it was yours."
After all these years, you saw me curling hair
Well,
with
you know
this
the other
bracelet.
person gonna come and say that she brought this to me.
This is true.
Mm-hmm.
Snitches
Well,
get snitched on.
and that is us saying that will happen. You guys on the call are saying that if you was Lisa, y'all would take the chain and return it. Some people may not return it. Some people would do what Madison said, and instead of wearing it, because if you wear it, you definitely have a hit out for you. But you may take it and get it pawned and cash out.
That's if you know. That's not knowing any of this. That's not saying if you know about it.
I would say if I knew or had some type of a relationship with my competitor, we've known each other for a while, I'd give it to her. But if we just can't stand each other, she won't talk to me at all, Jackie won't talk to me, and I'm Lisa, then in that case, what I might do, I might keep the woman there talking to her. I might call the cops and have the cops involved. So they can see that, hey, she took it, because I don't want the cops, like if Jackie had a problem later saying, oh, you received theft of property. Like, I'm not trying to get involved that way. If I know she's messy like that, then I'll just keep the woman there, call the cops. The cops will come and say, hey, she stole this, tried to give it to me. So that way my hands are clean, and she has to go to jail and, deal with the police for her theft too.
But is it, I'm just asking this question again. Is it actually theft?
If you take property and you know who it belongs to is not yours, and you take it, you know who it belongs to?
Receiving stolen goods, yes.
You cannot go to the judge and say, finders, keepers, losers, weepers.
Wait to the next competition.
Finders, keepers,
Jail time.
losers, weepers.
Okay. Okay. I understand that. I get you on that. Sister Sanders. You are Jasmine. You find out that Lisa had returned your jewelry, saying that Jackie brought it to her, your employee. Let's say this scuffle and everything happened on a Friday. On Saturday, you get your jewelry back from Lisa. Lisa brings it to you and tells you what happened and say, even though I beat you in the competition, I still want to.
And after.
Yeah. No, Lisa didn't fight her.
I know. I keep saying it.
But even after you lost at the competition, I still want to be a good sport and hand you back your jewelry. Jackie brought it to me, and you start work on Monday, and Jackie punches in the clock. How are you handling the situation, Sister Sanders? Talk to me. Are you there, Sister Sanders?
Is she on mute? Is she on mute?
Sure. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
Okay, so wait a minute. Jackie took the bracelet.
Right.
Gave it
Jackie
to
is
me.
your employee.
Mm-hmm. So Jackie gave it to Lisa.
Lisa is your competitor. She works for another company. She's the owner of the shop that won the tournament that you guys were in at the convention center.
And then Lisa takes the bracelet and give it to
You.
Okay. So now your question is what?
That happened on Saturday. She returned it to you on Saturday. You you posted bail or whatever, got out, and Lisa drops off your jewelry to you and tells you that Jackie gave it to you. Monday morning, 10 o'clock, Jackie punches in the clock. Ready for work. Jennifer, why are you laughing?
We about to go to jail again.
Why would you clock in? You told the cops.
We would be having some conversation. I would be trying to find out, how did you get my bracelet, first of all?
It fell on the floor when you was fighting.
Okay, so if she had it and I'm her boss, if she had the jewelry, she should have brought it to me.
Well, she was trying to get a come up on. She was trying to
give it to Lisa.
Yeah, she went to Lisa because she was trying to get a job with Lisa. She felt embarrassed. She felt embarrassed.
And Lisa wouldn't hire her.
If you was Lisa, would you have hired her?
No.
So Lisa,
Not
He
if she
wouldn't
trying
have
to
a
give
job
me.
nowhere.
Not,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
You still
Not
ain't
if
gonna
she
get
trying to
a
give
job.
me somebody else's jewelry for a peace offering.
peace offering.
She shouldn't have clocked
Mm-mm.
in.
She wouldn't
I'm
have been
scared of
hired,
that.
and then I would be having conversation with Jackie, and she probably wouldn't be working with me anymore.
No.
She clocked in. I had to clock her out.
Mhm.
Only
That was a
legally
good
though.
one.
Only legally
In
though.
more ways than one, huh?
Yeah.
Y'all,
One
y'all,
context at a time.
y'all not right.
Hey, no. Legally. You're fired.
Legally, you fired.
Respectfully.
Respectfully.
Disrespectfully.
Yeah,
You did me dirty.
she be gone.
Yeah.
All right. So everybody is saying that she'll be gone. Sister Sanders, that's the conclusion.
Yeah, because I wouldn't be able to trust her.
Right.
Well, what if her ex? Would you give her a chance to explain herself?
Yeah.
So what if she said you
But
embarrassed her?
from the story, I mean, she pretty much, although she picked it up off the floor, the girl dropped it was on the floor. She picked it up off the floor. Technically, she really stole it because she tried to give it to somebody else as a peace offering. So she didn't have any intention of giving it back to me.
True.
So she stole it.
At this point, I'm scared of Jackie because she bold.
I'm serious.
I'm scared of Jasmine. She ready to go.
All right. The reason why I brought this story up because there's an interesting story in the Bible that's somewhat similar in context to this. All right, and it's a story that we all know, or at least heard of to a certain degree, and the principles of it. I want to know, based off of our story with Jackie being in the wrong. I want to know if the principle still stands and y'all feel the same way in the choices that were made in this story. So I am going to ask y'all to turn to 2 Samuel, chapter 1, and we're going to read verses 1 through 16. Again, 2 Samuel, chapter 1, verses 1 through 16. I'm reading from the NCV version. And again, this is something that I know you ladies are going to, I want to hear your why. I know you're probably going to agree with the decision that was being made. I just want to hear your why and how your why relates to Jackie. So again, we're reading the story in 2 Samuel chapter 1, verses 1 through 16. It's a simple, easy 16 verses to read. I'm going to read it out loud. Does everybody have it?
Yes. Yes.
All right. So, verse 1, chapter 1, verse 1 in 2 Samuel starts off like this. Again, I'm reading from the NCV version, and it says, Now Saul was dead. After David had defeated the Amalekites, he returned to Ziklag and stayed there 2 days. On the third day, a young man from Saul's camp came to Ziklag. To show his sadness, his clothes were torn, and he had dirt on his head. He came and bowed face down on the ground before David. Verse 3, David asked him, Where did you come from? The man answered, I escaped from the Israelite camp. Verse 4, David asked him, What happened? Please tell me. The man answered, The people have run away from the battle, and many of them have fallen and are dead. Saul and his son Jonathan are dead also. David asked him, How do you know Saul and his son Jonathan are dead? Verse 6, the young man answered, I happened to be on Mount Gilboa. There I saw Saul leaning on his spear. The Philistine chariots and the men riding in them were coming closer to Saul. Verse 7, when he looked back and saw me, he called to me. I answered him, Here am I. Verse 8, then Saul asked me, Who are you? And I told him, I am an Amalekite. Verse 9, then Saul said to me, please come here and kill me. I am badly hurt and almost dead already. Verse 10, so I went over and killed him. He had been hurt so badly, I knew he couldn't live. Then I took the crown from his head and the bracelet from his arm, and I have brought them here to you, my master. Verse 11, then David tore his clothes to show his sorrow, and all the men with him did also. Verse 12, they were sad and cried and fasted until evening. They cried for Saul and his son, Jonathan, for all the people of the Lord and for all the Israelites who had died in the battle. Verse 13, David asked the young men who brought the report, where are you from? The young man answered, I am the son of a foreigner and Amalekite. Verse 14, David asked him, why were you not afraid to kill the Lord's appointed king? Then David called one of his men and told him, go, kill the Amalekite. So the Israelite killed him. David had said to the Amalekite, you are responsible for your own death. You confess by saying, I have killed the Lord's appointed king. So, I want to know, how does Jackie fit into this story here? And was David wrong for killing my man? Besides, Paul asked him to do so.
He was wrong for killing because thou shalt not kill. I don't care what he's doing.
But Saul was going to die anyway.
Yeah, he was going to die anyway, but that didn't give him a right to kill him.
Well, let's also
Let
keep
him
this
die on
in,
his own.
I want to keep this in context because people don't really understand here that in the beginning, David was actually on the enemy side. He was hanging out with the Amalekites. Even him being in Ziklag, that at that time the territory was under the Amalekites' hands, and he was cool with one of the governors, or I forgot what he was, but he found favor in the governor's sight, and so he volunteered to go fight against the Israelites, and the guy said no. So in this particular case here, and this is like the end of 1 Samuel. So now we're in 2 Samuel. But the Amalekite guy who comes to David, because David was at one point in time on his side, till David decided to fight against the Amalekites. Which with the guys, the Amalekite leaders kind of felt that that's what David was going to end up doing anyway once he seen his people getting beat up and destroyed. But even after the battle, Saul was going to die anyway. Him and Jonathan was going to die. So my question, again, knowing all this, my man, the Amalekite soldier guy, he came to David not even on some peace offering. He came to David because initially David was willing to fight against his own people. So he came to him and was like, yo, all right, yeah, so it's done. I know it's done because Saul asked me to kill him, and I took care of it. Here's this crown and everything, bro. You the man now. It's all yours. And I don't think he was expecting David to be boohoo crying. Not only David, his team. And when it's all said and done, David's like, yo, he got to go. Was David wrong for wanting him to go?
My thinking is probably only because David was recognizing, that the Amalekite guy had killed God's anointed. So since God had appointed Saul as king, and the Amalekite took his life, that's probably pretty much why he wanted to kill him. Kill him. But the Amalekite, I think, probably was thinking, like Saul was going to die anyway, as you said. So, and Saul asked him to kill him, so he did. You know, he was doing what he had asked him to do. But David, looking at it, I'm thinking from the standpoint of Saul was the king, though. You know, God's anointed, and you don't kill God's. Touch
Right.
not my anointed. So you don't touch the anointed. That's what I'm thinking, or how I would look at it.
Okay, that's not. You're not wrong for looking at it that way. Anyone else though? I want to hear like, does David find it? Is there any fault in David? Because remember, David, his initial reasoning for everything was to. I mean, Saul was trying to kill David for the longest time at this point, so he found refuge in the enemy's camp, and they took him in. And at this particular point in time, he's in a situation where he's offering to go to battle against his own people. So this young man respectfully came to David and said, yeah, I'm confirming that my man is dead. And not only is he dead, he asked me to kill him because more men were coming. And who knows what they would have did to his body. So I did what needed
I
to be
think
done.
the Amalekite didn't realize that he was doing something wrong. He thought he was helpful.
This is true. So that's why. Do you think David overreacted?
Well, no, just like First Lady said, you can't touch his anointed. But I'm just saying the Amalekite didn't know that.
Well,
I agree. The
hold on. I want to ask this question real quick to you, Ms. Plummer. All right, so Saul is God's anointed. At this particular point, the anointing kind of left Saul, and it's on David now. Saul himself want to kill David, the anointed. The Amalekite doesn't get a pass for that?
No. No, because it says you have children, the Lord's chosen 10. So I know David can't be fortunate that he didn't think anybody else had the right to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I agree with you. I'm just saying that Saul also wanted to kill David himself. And at this point, David was the anointed.
But even though, well, if I can answer,
Yeah.
but even though Saul wanted to kill David, David had opportunities to kill Saul when Saul was out to kill David, but yet he still would not do it because he recognized him as God's anointed. Even if the anointing had left him, David saw that the anointing had been upon him, so he still respected the fact that God had chosen Saul. So yeah, so I think David may have still been looking at it from that standpoint that he was still, even if the anointing had left him and was on David, that David still recognized that God had chosen him.
Okay, I want to
Had
ask.
chosen Saul, I mean.
I got you. I want to ask my nurses or hospital employees here. The two that I know on the phone, June and Jennifer. I want to ask you to this question. Let's say a great apostle or a popular minister, is preacher in your city is now bedridden in the hospital and barely breathing on his last breath. He's suffering. He or she is suffering. You're in the room tending to the person's needs, and they say, I'm suffering, I'm in pain. Take me out, please. Stop the pain. Please take me out. Unplug the machine. You know that they're in pain and suffering. You too, what would y'all do in that situation?
Be like, Lord, you do miracles. Unplug that machine if that's what you
yeah, exactly. God unplugged it.
Pick him up like Elijah.
You do miracles? Oh man, that's bars right there.
Life
You
for
can't
life.
do it.
You pull that cord.
You wouldn't do it?
You can't do it. You
I
can't
s-
do it.
no, yeah, I said that's a life
That
for a
that would be
life.
murder.
Yes, they will. You're
Yeah.
going to jail.
God gives life, and God is the giver of life.
So then,
He know when the person's days are up.
so
You can't do it.
so in this particular case, then my man, y'all saying my man, the Davis, the Amalekite should go period just for killing, taking a life. At this point, it's not
I
even
think
about.
the Amalekite should have known his audience. He should have known his audience, knowing that, like First Lady said, he already knew he had the chance to kill Saul, and he even proved it to him, like when he was asleep.
No.
I'm saying
The
that
Amalekite
when
wouldn't know, Amalekite wouldn't have known that, and the Amalekite. I mean, if we're being honest, again, David was in the Amalekite camp before the war even started. He was, yo, I want to fight with you guys. I want to go against my brethren. He was volunteering for it.
I think that the Amalekite, because everyone knew David. I mean, he still should have known his audience. I think if he was going to serve, and David was only there because he was trying not to be killed
by Saul.
Correct?
By Saul.
So
though.
it wasn't like he wasn't.
No, he was trying not to be killed by Saul, though.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why he was in the enemy camp. That's the only reason why he was in.
But he also volunteered his men to go fight.
But I wouldn't even trust David even with that, saying that he's gonna go. He might be out there saying he's fighting with me and killing my folks, saying that the enemy killed him.
Well, obviously that's the reason.
You can't.
That's the reason. That's the reason why the Amalekites. Right. That's the really reason why the Amalekite leaders told him that they didn't want him to join them.
Exactly, because you can't trust that. David was a Jew, a follower of God, God's people, all kinds of ways. So, yeah, I wouldn't have trusted him with that one either. He gonna fight him. He wouldn't even kill the person that was trying to kill him. So,
right,
yeah.
I mean, I get. Listen, I definitely understand where y'all coming from with this. It's just also I don't blame my man for bringing the crown to him, because you was just a couple hours ago rooting to fight with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, he probably thought he was doing the right thing, but it's also kind of like you're spitting in God's face. He anointed this person no matter what they've done, and here you are just going to take him out, whether he asks you to or not. He's not your king.
Yeah, but God wasn't the Amalekites' God. I mean, he was they did. I mean, even I don't think that they were all into Saul as their king, and Saul asked him to do it. So I mean, that's a hard situation when if somebody really is dying and whatnot, and they saying, begging, like Aaron was saying earlier, begging. I mean, from a medical standpoint, you can't do it. But I'm saying I can see people wanting to help somebody be out of their misery, and whatnot. So, yeah, I can see that thought crossing somebody's mind to do it. But in this case, they were in battle anyway, so wasn't nothing for him to kill him.
So does the rule change if it's war? Are y'all all saying this because
the point is that I'm saying the issue is that was David wrong to kill him? I'm saying from the standpoint of I understand why David killed him, but I understand why the man killed Saul too.
It was a mercy killing.
But he didn't. But when he presented it to David, I don't think it seemed like a mercy killing. It seemed like to me, like we were going to get him, and he begged me, So it's almost like he was it was humiliating for Saul to even I'm already here. I don't want to be, dragged down. So can you just kill me? Like he's begging his enemy to kill him, and then his enemy goes back and look at this, look at this, and I got this. That didn't work out too well for Jackie. You know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you. So, Sister Plummer.
That was a good story to match that.
Hold on, Sister Plummer. You still there, Sister Plummer? So, quickly. So, on a Monday morning when Jackie punches in, how are you handling it?
Oh, well,
I didn't hear what she said.
You out, Barb.
I'm out.
You cut. I'm saying
You're cutting out.
We couldn't hear you anymore.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. What did you say?
Oh, yeah, I would.
You'll let her go?
Okay. She's breaking up.
I think she said sit her down.
I was saying I trust her.
Can't trust her. Okay, June, you letting her go immediately?
Yeah.
Or are you gonna let her finish out the day?
Oh no, she gotta go.
No, well, what I'm gonna do is when she punch in, I'll punch her out, and she can finish out the day.
You're gonna get a pressing curl.
On the floor.
You meant punch her time card out, right?
She about to get a Dominican blowout.
Yep. Let her be the last customer too. Make sure she get her hair done.
Oh man, y'all shut out, man.
She better hope they tip well that day.
That's how they do you on these jobs anyway. They let you go at the end of the day. Yes, they do.
So you will punch her out so she couldn't get
I
paid?
didn't even let her work that day because she might have been stealing some other
She be
stuff.
stealing customers.
She might be missing her
I wouldn't
hair.
even. She have to go right then.
So you would just pull it to the side and like, yo, sorry, you got to punch out. It's time to go. It's over.
I would explain to her that I talked to the other lady, and that wasn't cool.
You want to leave now or at the end of your shift?
Yeah.
Just let me know.
No, you gotta leave now, and we just have to make do with the people that come in. We just have to double up on customers.
So let me ask you this question, Sister Plummer. So what would you do then if she files for unemployment?
But she was fired.
She could file for unemployment.
She files for unemployment.
Take 6 weeks.
And I would put down I released her because of dishonesty.
Yeah, I think there's ways to stop it.
Let her clock in and call the police. You have your other lady.
You gonna clock in and call the police?
You call the police on me.
Hey.
Yeah, you already have a witness that said she stole it.
So you gonna get the Lisa, the owner of the other hair salon? You gonna get her involved in the police now?
I mean, she's the one who gave me the necklace. I'm just gonna have the police go ahead and talk to her.
I think then in that case, I'll probably.
She was honest
that she got it from her.
Right. If she's honest enough to give it to me, and I already owe Jackie, a police call. I just got out of jail because of Jackie.
That is so unfortunate. How is it that you pull up to your shift in your car and then you pull off in a cop car? It's happening.
So what are you more mad about? The fact that she told you on y'all and got you arrested, or that she took your $100,000 jewelry and gave it to somebody else?
That's a bad combo.
And what happened to forgiveness?
I would be mad about both, but I'd be more mad that she stole from me.
What about forgiveness?
If you're going to stand up and just call a spade a spade, okay, fine, I can respect that. But you're going to steal from me? And then your principle of doing it, calling me out because you standing up with some right, but you stole from me too? Like, you did exactly what you said you had a problem with. You're still doing wrong. So, no.
Elder, what about forgiveness, Elder? What about praying for her and giving her forgiveness? The ultimate sacrifice.
I can forgive her and then still get rid of her.
And you can pray for her too.
As they apply the cuffs.
$100,000? No.
You gotta use wisdom.
Yeah. All right, yo, it's 9:59. It's good to hear everybody joining in on this conversation. As our pastor always say at our church, be safe, be blessed, be well. I want to say thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for joining in. And we signing out. Holla at your boy. We out of here. Y'all have a good night.
Night.
Good night.
Good night.
God bless.
Bye.